So they look good on camera, I'll tell you that.
I knew they would.
She does not know what to do with that.
It's you who doubted me.
She's like, I don't understand.
What is this? What's going on?
Hey everyone, welcome to this new episode of So I Married a Geek, the show where we invite you all into our life to follow as our...
And into our home.
Into our home as we follow, our life, our misadventures, our lessons, our arguments, our happy days, our good days, our days where we throw food at the wall. Whatever happens, happens. I am one of your hosts, Gavin, joined by...
The Metatron.
The Metatron in his sparkly pants.
Phil
and Dog. We're going to talk about these pants in a future episode, just so y'all know. But today, I'm talking about... We've talked before about kind of the things we get obsessed over, and I've been obsessed over a few things, and I haven't really indulged a lot of them like my Disney doll thing. You'll see it back there. I used to a long time ago, but I lost everything in a fire. Like, I had all the Disney villain dolls. I had a Jessica Rabbit doll that was to die for.
Evidently had all those collector's Gorillas dolls.
Yeah, I had all the Gorillas stuff. Like, I had all the stuff. And so I just recently decided to go ahead and let my obsession go back over those, which led me to buying this bad boy. This Princess Kita doll, which is giant, for one of my favorite movies. And there's a 50th Cinderella for Disney World that comes out soon at that size. I'm going to look at, but probably going to pass on because I've gotten what I really want. There's a few things I like. I do want to re-get the Ursula doll because she was fucking awesome. I do want to re-get Jessica Rabbit, but
because you're obsessed with Ursula.
I'm obsessed. I do have an Ursula problem, and I have my Muppets thing and my fucking Ursula thing and my Spider-Man thing.
And your Little Mermaid thing.
Well, yeah, I really am obsessed with Little Mermaid. It's not even that. I indulge that. But one of the safer things I do indulge in that we do enjoy together is my obsession over polygamy shows. I love watching those shows like Escaping Polygamy and all those ones where they're trying to get the kids out and you see just how fucked up this culture is. And then I watch the ones where they make about like they're good, saintly people, like the one where they live in the side of the mountain and they built their own houses in there and they're all there together. We watched a documentary the other night called Stay Sweet about the Warren Jeffs thing, and it started off as these people are crazy, then it went, maybe they're not so crazy, and then you're like, no, these motherfuckers are crazy. Like, this man did them all so wrong, and the people who are still in the cult are like, we just don't see it that way. Yeah. We don't understand why they're taking our land away, because he changed the deed and the trust to make it, so it's his fault. Now the law has to settle it.
They will never see it that way.
They will never see it that way. And it was like, wow, it was really good. It was on Discovery Plus. I was like, oh, I see Stay Sweet. That's what that fucking Warren Jeffs thing. We gotta watch this.
It was crazy too. Like, one of the guys in the documentary he's a producer and a reality TV producer, and he said it best when they were listening to the tapes that Warren Jeffs used to send his disciples. You could not cast a voice actor who could have sounded more sinister and fucked up. And those tapes are just disturbing. And so when there's one person in the documentary who's like, well, I would hope if people met me, they wouldn't think I was a horrible person. And part of me was like, I probably wouldn't if you weren't defending this guy. But her and the other people in the documentary who are still in the cult keep saying, well, that's not the Warren we knew. It doesn't matter. The evidence says the Warren you knew doesn't exist.
The only Warren you knew was the one that you were indoctrinated to see. So that's why I love these shows, because this is something that's very real and it's happening all the time. Like, there's the Warren Jeffs cult, then there's that other one that's there, and not all polygamists are crazy. I'm saying that right now. Some of them, like the Sister Wife show, they're just dealing with life. We watched this, what was it, Seeking Sister Wife or something?
Oh, God, yeah.
That was following a couple couples who were trying to find their multiple partners, and I get it. If that's really what you really believe in, then you should have the right to believe in that. But when you're brainwashed to the point that you don't believe reality, then there's a problem. And I love watching that. That is one of my favorite things, is just watching these people and be so naive. Like, fucking Escaping Polygamy is one of my favorite things ever, because these women work really hard to get these girls out that want to get out, and just like, the fact that the family could just erase one of their own who leaves says something very fucked up about you.
Yeah, if as a parent you don't have a problem cutting up pictures of your child and burning them in front of the other children,
They're dead.
God, that is nothing God ever preached.
And when you, as a man, let some idiot say your children can't, your male sons can't be here because they're going to take away younger wives to the older man, then I'd be like, you know what, fuck you!
For real.
They're called the Lost Boys. They kick out all these boys who have no place to go and no real education. And the one in the Stay Sweet documentary, one of them ended up in jail because he got addicted to drugs and he shot his girlfriend on accident because he was high on shrooms or something. No guidance in life. They just end up in these pits, and that becomes our problem. Because these motherfuckers who are allowed to, like, this should not be legal. I mean, I don't understand how that's not child abuse.
It is, depending on where you are.
But
then there's the argument that they have religious freedom. And it's a touchy legal fine line between my religion, because in America, crazy religious people, we see it right now with Roe versus Wade and everything else.
We live in Texas. It's all about your religious
You have religious people who believe that because of religious liberty, they should be allowed to do anything that they think their religion says they should. Even if there's nothing in the Bible that talks about it, even if there's no scripture, they believe it religiously, so you should be allowed.
Here's how I put it. You are more than welcome to have your religious liberty. You can go to church wherever you want, believe whatever you want. But as soon as you step out your door into a melting pot culture, you need to put your beliefs on the sideline, because not everyone believes or thinks the way you do. And you live in a world and a country where that is very much true. So you do not have the right to go out and be like, well, you guys can be parents because you're gay. Well, fuck you. That's not your choice to make. But they are enforcing this. And you can't use religious freedom as a thing for polygamists because the nation doesn't recognize that as an actual religion. Though I think they should if they recognize everything else. There's no reason they shouldn't recognize this because it is a religion to people.
Well, but that's the thing, and they try to make that distinction in the documentary. Polygamy is not a religion. It's a practice of one of these sects.
The FLDS.
And so it isn't that they don't have the freedom to practice their religion. Bigamy and polygamy is considered illegal. It's just like, I'm sorry, like if your religion says that it's okay for you to give your child drugs, in most states that's still a crime. Just because your religion says you can do it doesn't mean you can actually do it if your state says it's a crime. But then that's where I say there's that fine line where it turns into, well, my religion says I can.
But see, I also don't understand that, like, what's wrong with them being polygamous? There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. There isn't. There isn't anything wrong with a polyamorous or a polygamous relationship. There isn't. It's just what people choose to be. Why we live...
Because the moral majority...
They're not fucking moral. They're out there fucking children as priests and shit. They're not moral. They put on that fucking face, but Christians are not moral.
But the moral majority says it should be one man, one woman, and children. That's why we're not supposed to be parents. That's why you don't have polygamous relationships.
Again,
because the moral majority
we live in a much
says
different
one
world
and
now.
one.
We should have gone beyond this point. But
we should have. This is a book that was written thousands of years ago that people take to heart and treat as though it is truth.
These shows, they're like my crack. The way he watches reality bitch shows, I will watch polygamy shows.
Yeah, he really does.
Like, I love watching the drama and just, like, the God Squad. Like, they get chased out of these towns by these white boys and shotguns and trucks. And they gotta go to, like, the dark of night. And the fucking girls wear those weird outfits and the weird braided hair. Like,
I want to know who told those girls that was a cute hairdo. Like,
they're not allowed. They don't have a choice.
It wasn't even cute 150 years ago. Why do they still got that shit on?
They showed you have 5 approved hairstyles for girls, and they're all practically the same. And I'm just like, I hope that these moms hope their children break that cycle, but they just keep falling into it, which is why I love watching when they escape, because they come into a world that they know nothing about. They've been cut off from, and you just want to help them because they really want to better themselves. And they're kind of that weird, awkward kid when they get out of there because they literally don't know anything. Like, there was one of the shows of Escape Polygamy. They took the picture of Warren Jeffs with him because they still wanted to believe in him, but they didn't want to, be in the cult. I was like, y'all, this man is fucking evil. And they, like, oh my, I love watching them because you do get to see both sides. You get to see the positive side. You get to see the negative side. And then there's that weird gray space in between. It's like, well, what does it matter to me if this man wants to have 3 wives? I don't know how he fucking keeps up with all 3 wives, because wives are a lot of work. I mean, I've got a husband who needs a lot of work, but
see, he took it to an evil place when he turned it into, I'm taking your wife away as punishment, and I'm going to give your wife to this other person, and as a reward to this dude, I'm going to take this other person's wife and give... And then when it turned into, I'm going to give you a 12-year-old... Like, he took it to an evil, dark place that even if you believe in the religion, he was megalomaniacal. Like, there are a few people that I think, like, deserve to spend their entire life in prison. He is one of those people that's like, you deserve every minute.
Every one of those people that are in the upper echelons who followed him, they all know.
Echelon.
Whatever. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, they believe.
Because here's what I liked about the Stay Sweet documentary. It started out before Warren Jeffs, where they were just building a town, and they were all together, and they had this trust, and then Warren Jeffs took over, and they started building walls, everything was coming down, and he changed the trust to a charitable trust, which put it in the hands of the government. So he didn't care. He did what he did for power and money.
Yeah, he did it for his own advancement, and he fucked up.
And now everyone that lived in the town is getting evicted because they refused to sign. All they have to do is sign a lease and pay some property taxes. They have to, what is it?
$100 occupancy fee.
$100 occupancy. They have to sign a right of occupants. Just because now it's in the government's hand, the government has lots of paperwork and red tape. But they're like, we refuse to do it. And, they're taking everything from us. They're taking it from you because you can't just sign a piece of paper because, 1, you probably don't know how to sign your name, period. And 2...
they feel like it would conflict with their beliefs in Warren Jeffs. Like, that's the crazy thing. Like, they don't want to sign the occupancy agreement because that would acknowledge the government has the right to do this. They're not even making them buy houses. They have to pay a $100 occupancy fee and then pay the property taxes. They don't have to buy the house. No. They get it for free because it's on land that was theirs in that trust. But they won't do it because Warren Jeffs is their god on Earth, and they feel like they would be turning their back on him to cooperate.
And they play that victim card. And I'm just like, you guys are fucking stupid. I cannot fathom being that narrow-minded. Like, just the idea of being that way frightens me. And they are raising 800 children that way per family. Because they do nothing but fucking pop out children. Like, that's the weird thing. Like, they got like 20 children. You see like the group photo. It's like one of those senior class pictures. That's just one that's just one dude's children. I'm like, how the fuck are you paying for that many kids?
That's the part I always wondered about. Like, when they got like 3 wives and 2 houses and 17 children, I'm like, how the hell do they afford that shit? We ain't even got kids and we're broke. How the fuck do they afford that shit?
So, and then I do like watching the positive side where they have their daily struggles. I hated some of the people on Seeking Sister Wife. Some of those couples just deserve to be single forever. Like, there is the one couple where she made the woman change her entire life, her entire diet, everything, before she was even allowed to sleep with the husband. And of course it ended badly. Because you gave, a relationship is give and take. It's not take. And this one would just want to take. So of course it failed. So I was happy it failed. I was so happy when season 2 started. They were back to being single. I was like, yes.
Not that he's invested in these shows,
but I love those, y'all. It's one of my weird obsessions. I fucking love polygamy shows because it's either batshit crazy or, well, this seems kind of normal. More power to you, but I don't know how you're fucking a different woman every night of the week. Especially with children. Yeah, that's gotta be tense. And in that aspect, you see the reality of human nature come out. The jealousy. They're not built for polygamy, but they just decide to do it. So it's vastly... Watch the polygamy shows, y'all. You'll love them.
Yes.
Well, that's something fun to talk about. So that's been it for this episode.
I guess that means we're not going to get a brother husband.
Okay, could polygamy work if it, like, I think the greatest lie anyone ever told people was that females were inferior. And that was a male-centric Bible view. That's the greatest lie anyone has ever told, and we're still trying to get over it. I do not see why there could not be a female-centric polygamy. But because they believe in this male-centric Bible where man, it will never happen. That's just called a polyamorous couple now. But if they like, maybe there is like a secret sect of Mormons out there who are female centric with multiple husbands.
Ooh, that would be a fun show to film.
That would be I would watch that show.
Produce that show.
We have to find someone that actually lives that way and that would be willing to talk about it. That are fundamentalist Mormons, but they believe the woman is the head of the house and she has multiple husbands. She's got to have a lot of yeast infections.
Oh, good lord!
Like that's vastly different. Because that's like, well, I guess even the other way around.
When she gets knocked up, it's like, well, whose is it?
Who's the daddy? That's a Mormon Maury Povich show right there. Like, husband number 2, you are the father. Woo! Like, yeah, that would be the dangerous part, is figuring out who is who. It'd be easier if they were all different races. So if you popped out like an Asian baby, you knew it was husband number 1. White baby, you knew
that wouldn't be
4.
exciting though. No, that's not where the drama comes in. The drama comes in where the baby comes out. It's like, whose is it for real?
Instead of gender reveal parties, it's paternity reveal parties.
For real.
Oh my god! So I don't understand why that wouldn't work anyway. It's like I've never really agreed with the male-centric view of the Bible. We're all equal.
Look at you being a feminist.
Well, that's just reality. We are all equal. There's
feminism.
It's only called feminism because, the male-centric men run the world. Like, I could not imagine being a husband in, like, the 1950s and having to get up every day and put on a suit and go to work at some god-awful job and come home and make sure my wife is kept underfoot. Like, I do like looking at those retro ads or, like, the woman's, like, cleaning the dude's shoe and he's, like, drinking 7-Up. You know what she wants? She wants a vacuum for Christmas and she's all fawning over the vacuum. I'm like...
My favorite one ever, y'all, was the ad for Lysol as a feminine hygiene product, because that's what it was when it came out, y'all. The stuff that you used to clean your house was once considered a way to make sure that you were pine fresh for your husband when he came home.
And I'm just like, I can't believe that was actual life. How on earth did we treat, well, we're in America, we've treated people badly our whole lives.
Yeah, since our nation was founded.
It's sad. Like, we should be way past this point now in history. We should be, everyone's equal, everyone's rights are the same, you be you. But like I said, we've got the old guard in, all those old politicians, they need to get the fuck out.
Well, there's the young ones now. I mean...
Oh, some of them aren't any better.
Oh my god, like Marjorie Taylor Greene and the crazy ass shit she said.
Okay, what did you tell me she said today?
This crazy bitch put out on Twitter that the nation doesn't shut down because 600,000 people die of cancer every year, so why are we shutting down over the pandemic? And people had to actually stop to remind her, cancer is not contagious. That's why. You don't spread it from person to person. But this idiot, who is somehow a member of Congress, said this like it was an actual factual comparison. Like it made perfect sense to compare the two things.
Hit like, hit subscribe, share this video, make sure you comment, show us the love. We're showing you guys some love every day when we do this because we love having you guys in our house. We are going to try to film a somewhat reality pilot in January so you guys can actually see what it's like away from the couch because so much happens.
Because he's crazy.
And you're fucking crazy. Don't act like I'm the only one.
I'm not crazy. I'm the same.
Don't act like I'm the only one.
I'm the same.
Like today, I was trying to get dressed, and he had to nipplegate me, and fucking he just nipplegate.
They belong to me.
No, bitch, they don't. He goes, we didn't do an episode about your nipples, so we already did an episode about my nipples, bitch.
They're mine.
Anyways, we'll be back for more episodes. Like I said, Christmas week, look for a bunch of Christmas episodes. We will take the week after Christmas off to film some stuff for the new year and really get ready to kind of film a reality pilot for you guys to see. It's going to take some planning, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. Because there's no going back when that starts. You never know what's I'm going to say, or you're going to do, or people are going to see. Like, you're not going to see those Instagram pictures where they're in the bathroom and they got like that wall of dildos behind them. Phil hides his stuff really well.
As a lady should.
Here, like, but I don't know. You never know what you're going to see when you follow us around the house because shit is crazy, yo. So, yeah. That's been this episode. We hope you guys have enjoyed it. We'll see you guys next time. Make sure you follow new episodes up at noon daily. and we're gonna have some fun getting ready for Christmas. I think tomorrow we're gonna talk about Phil's new job.